My name is Emily, and if you met me a year ago, you would have said I had everything. A beautiful home in Texas, a stable job, and a loving husband named Mark. But the truth is, my life started falling apart in the quietest way possible, the kind no one notices until it's too late. It began when my 10-year-old daughter Lily stopped talking to me the way she used to. No more random hugs, no more, "Mom, guess what happened today?" Just short answers, forced smiles, and long hours alone in her room. And like most parents, I told myself it was just a phase. Maybe she was growing up. Maybe I was overthinking. Until one evening I walked past her door and heard her whispering, not laughing, not playing, whispering like she was hiding something, and something in my chest didn't feel right, so I gently opened the door and saw her sitting on the floor, holding a drawing, tears rolling down her face. And when I asked her what was wrong, she quickly wiped her tears and said, "Nothing, Mom." But I knew that word, nothing, was never really nothing. So that night, after she fell asleep, I picked up that drawing she had hidden under her pillow, and what I saw broke me completely. It was a picture of our family, but I wasn't standing next to her. I was far away, drawn behind a big wall, and next to her was her dad, smiling, while she had written in shaky letters, "I wish Mom had time for me." And in that moment, I felt something inside me collapse because I realized I had been so busy trying to give her a good life that I forgot to actually be in her life. All those late work nights, all those "not now, I'm busy" moments, they added up into a distance I didn't even see forming. And the next morning, I didn't go to work. I sat next to her at breakfast and said, "Lily, can we talk?" And she looked surprised, like she wasn't used to me asking that. And when I told her I saw the drawing, she didn't get angry. She just looked down and said softly, "I miss you, Mom." And those 4 words hurt more than anything else ever could, because they weren't said with anger. They were said with sadness, the kind that builds slowly over time. And I realized I hadn't lost her yet. But I was very close, so I made a decision that day. Not a big dramatic promise, just small changes, real ones. I started coming home earlier, putting my phone away during dinner, sitting with her even if we had nothing to say. And slowly, she started coming back to me. One smile at a time, one conversation at a time. And weeks later, as we were sitting together watching a movie, she rested her head on my shoulder and said, "I like this Mom better." And I smiled. But inside, I knew this wasn't a new version of me. This was the version she needed all along. And maybe the hardest truth about love is this: you can give someone everything and still make them feel alone if you don't give them your time, your attention, and your presence. Because sometimes the people who need you the most won't ask loudly. They'll just quietly hope you notice before it's too late. And from that day forward, I stopped measuring my love in things I provided and started measuring it in moments I was present. And it wasn't easy at first because habits don't disappear overnight. There were still times I almost reached for my phone instead of looking at her. Still, moments work tried to pull me back into that endless cycle. But every time I saw Lily glance at me, like she was checking if I was really there, I chose her again. And slowly, those small choices turned into a new normal. One where she started telling me about her day without me asking. One where her laughter filled the house again. And one evening, she handed me another drawing. And this time, there was no wall between us. We were standing side by side, holding hands, both smiling, and she had written, "Mom is here now." And I don't think I had ever felt so relieved and so guilty at the same time, because it made me realize how close I came to becoming just a background figure in her life, someone physically present but emotionally gone. And that thought stayed with me, not as pain anymore, but as a reminder that relationships don't break in big dramatic moments. They slowly fade in the spaces where we stop paying attention. And now, whenever life gets busy or overwhelming, I remember that drawing, that invisible wall I once built without even knowing, and I remind myself that being a good parent isn't about being perfect. It's about being available, even in the simplest ways. Because at the end of the day, kids don't remember how hard you worked or how much you gave them. They remember whether you were there when they needed you. And sometimes, the greatest gift you can give someone isn't success or security. It's your time, your presence, and the feeling that they matter more than anything else in your world. And as the months passed, I began to notice something even deeper than just smiles and conversations returning